Alright guys, Papa Pepper here. It's always something different. I'm constantly working on a ton of stuff. Today, it's these big rocks. Big flat rocks. So for a while, I've been contemplating maybe kind of cobblestoning my garden. I've got some that are just giant, like 50 pounds. Another one here. And if you know, my garden's kind of mulched paths with rock raised beds around it. But when I put in the rocks, a lot of them were really small, like this. And those are going to be used on my perimeter fencing. Just making some columns that'll kind of be around the T-post, make it look a little nicer. That type of thing. And then I got down the first layer of mulch, but some weeds are still coming through. You can see them growing up here. So I'm going a little heavier anyway. And I thought, you know what? I've got all these flat rocks available. You can see here I kind of started the cobblestone idea. And a couple things that's going to do. One is, if it doesn't work out, at least I've got all the rocks on my property and I can use them for other things later. Maybe some stonework, some type of masonry, you know, where I'm building things out of them. I do plan on putting a wood stove in my mobile home and using those to build a platform for them to be on, and then a back wall too behind it. But here, I'm thinking, you know what, they're white, so they're not going to attract that much heat. It's hot out here anyway in the summer. We're almost 100 degrees a day, I think. And it'll help suppress the weeds in the areas I don't want the weeds, because if I don't deal with the weeds, it just all grows back up like all of that stuff there. And then as well, in times of not a lot of rain, they're not going to be soaking up the water like the mulch or the ground would, so they'll be putting more into the raised beds. So I'm working on that today. I think it's going to look kind of cool. I think it'll create definitely a different look. It may kind of be a trip hazard with kids and stuff, but I think, you know, after a little bit, they walk on uneven ground all the time anyway. So just kind of all these pathways then potentially transition into that. Again, it's going to take time, but I think that the final, you know, the final end result of that whole process, I think it's going to be worthwhile. So I don't know, that's what I'm working on right now. We're going to keep it going. I'll show you guys up in a little bit and then go from there. But I've definitely got them in all those little rocks that I'm putting in these buckets to take care of. I can replace with larger rocks because I got a ton of those available. So still got some mulch I'm sorting through, and we'll see, because the mulch is kind of mixed with some compost stuff. So the compost stuff I'm actually adding to my compost pile, make it richer, and finish breaking it down and then go from there. But we'll see. I think it'll work, and like I said, it could really be one cool looking thing by the time I'm done. So we'll see. So here's a little section I was working on just under one of my Chinese noodle bean trellises. You can see I've got it pretty well, you know, organized, so it looks like a nice little cobblestone. Part of what I plan on doing is, over the years, building up these raised beds. I'm kind of like a dream mode here or something. Let's switch that for a minute. So there we go. So I plan on building up these raised beds over the year too. So the fact that this is about 6 inches of mulch and rock brings it up to a new layer, and as I fill these in, now I've lifted up these rocks already, but what I can do is switch them out for bigger rocks in the future as that continues to fill with new soil. And actually this part here I've got a little plan for too. Some poison ivy growing in, I gotta get rid of there. But we're moving in the right direction. I think this could be pretty cool. We'll see if it works in the long term. I plan on also just taking some of the really small fine mulch, sprinkling it on top, and then kind of sweeping it back and forth so it gets down into all the cracks and kind of brings it to a level. And then just foot traffic and rain should keep it pretty much compacted. And then also with the rock exposed and the mulch kind of filled in the middle at pretty much a level type thing. As these noodle beans continue growing, I'm going to add some more compost even this year as we go on. You can see some of the remnants of the fish emulsion and other things in there now. And then we're moving the rabbits down here shortly, all of them. So that'll give us rabbit manure to continually add to the top too. So as these guys grow, these ones are the ones for seeds right now, getting huge. They'll continue to grow huge. Here's some snake gourds. I got to harvest this one day. He's ready to eat. But these are the ones we're saving for seed. You see my hand there and the size of that thing. So definitely a big big snake gourds. And plenty more still to come. We saw hummingbirds pollinating these guys yesterday, so that was a really cool experience. And about 20 some of the birdhouse gourds growing over here. So anyway, there's the cobblestone. We'll see how it works out and if I actually do this whole thing or not. Papa out. As always, I'm Papa Pepper, and I'd like to remind you, don't post for free. If you'd like to be part of a revolution in social media, an economic power to the people where users can actually blog for cryptocurrency, then I'd recommend that you check out steemit.com and join the revolution. Papa out.